Up until the 1940s, Louisville had a thriving local food economy, and the Haymarket was at its heart. Farmers brought their fruits, vegetables, meat, and dairy products to the blocks between Jefferson, Liberty, Floyd, and Brook Streets and could return to their farms with empty truck beds, having sold their products to neighborhood grocers wholesale or to curb buyers, shoppers on foot. But with advances in transportation came the chain groceries, and the decline of the Haymarket and the local agrarian economy soon followed. Our national distribution system means that it's more convenient for corporations to purchase food from distributors thousands of miles away than from the farmers living down the road. But in a sustainable food shed, our food would be sourced from within a 300-mile radius. With rising gas prices and an increasingly unstable and hotter climate, we can't depend on the rest of the world to feed us. We need to ask ourselves, how many acres of land will it take to support our population? How can we protect our rural land from development? And how can we create a food economy that fairly serves all communities in Louisville, east and west, and one that adequately compensates farmers for their work? A recent Cornell study estimated that 1 acre of land per year can produce enough fruits, vegetables, and grains to feed 6 vegetarians or enough meat to feed 1 carnivore. Even if everyone in this room in Greater Louisville was prepared to convert to vegetarianism, our food shed would require roughly 218,000 acres of land and intensive vegetable production to sustain our growing population. But between 2002 and 2007, we lost 21% of our farmland in Jefferson County to development. We can't afford to lose the valuable ecological services agricultural lands provide to us beyond being a source of food. Our farmland is worth more than the suburbs that often take their place. But with more funding, the Community Farm Alliance could work with Conservation Land Trust to protect our farmland and make it available to beginning farmers. The average Jefferson County farmer is 58 years old and makes somewhere shy of $24,000 a year before factoring in the cost of seed and fertilizer. With an average farm size of 68 acres, farmers are making just $250 per acre. But how much more could they be making by growing for local markets instead of supplying corn and soybeans to the industrial food chain? According to the demand study released last week, Louisvillians spend $100 million a year per year on local foods and are ready to spend $158 million more. The market exists, but how do we rebuild the relationship between our rural producers and urban consumers? Our new food economy will be a radical shift for both. Farming for the local market will require different tools, inputs, and more labor, but it could bring the farmer back to the farm. A 68-acre farm farmed intensively could require 68 farmers instead of 1, and that translates to a dramatic increase in job opportunities in rural areas. But who will train the next generation of farmers? Field Day Farm has been producing passionate growers for the past 7 years. Other local farms have followed suit. But these farms don't have the capacity to train enough farmers to keep up with market demands. JCC and U of L could follow the example of colleges across the United States now offering programs in urban agriculture, urban forestry, and sustainable systems. Bellarmine's dean says that Bellarmine Farm, part of the university's new environmental studies program, is already playing a role in building regional consciousness and putting urban people in touch with the farming systems that feed them. Urban land will play an increasingly important role as farmlands disappear. Vacant lots, rooftops, and lawns can all be converted into productive gardens. During World War II, Victory Gardens planted in public parks and private lawns helped to relieve the pressure on the nation's food supply, and they're still relevant today. It's not just about food security. It's about neighbors sharing their gardens' abundance, safer streets, and stronger communities. Last year, one of Louisville's 4,000 vacant lots was transformed into the People's Garden Project in the Shawnee neighborhood of West Louisville. Louisville Grows worked with District 5 and community leaders to create a 22-member community garden, apple and pear orchard, and a market garden that produced over 2,000 pounds of produce for neighborhood distribution. Now Louisville Grows is partnering with the Food Literacy Project to develop a summer program for entrepreneurial youth development based in urban agriculture and community food systems. We hope this program and mixed-use agricultural demonstration sites like the People's Garden can be replicated throughout Louisville, where experienced growers work alongside first-time gardeners and share knowledge in casual conversations and workshops. Vegetables grown at the People's Garden help to fill CSA boxes prepared by the New Roots Shawnee Fresh Stops, where community members organize the distribution of fresh local food to an average of 70 families every 2 weeks throughout the growing season. Louisville's Fresh Stops have played a valuable role in neighborhoods where they are sometimes the sole distributor of fresh produce. We also grew food for 2 Healthy in a Hurry corner stores and the Root Cellar, which offers 100% locally grown products. If every neighborhood had a store like the Root Cellar, or better, a cooperative market, we'd be a long way towards achieving the goal of neighborhood-based food distribution. Food co-ops keep wealth in the community, and the products on the shelves are tailored to the needs of the neighborhoods where they're located. The knowledge for how to fix our food system lies in the communities where it's broken, but individuals most affected by the problem often lack the financial resources to pursue their ideas. Casa Heron, president of the Community Farm Alliance, is developing a plan to open a co-op in her Smoketown neighborhood. But accessing public and private investment has been a major challenge. Investors shouldn't overlook the opportunity to support new cooperatives and organizations already making a difference. Recently, Breaking New Grounds was forced to shut down operations due to lack of funding, and Grasshopper's distribution put a hold on plans to open a centralized processing kitchen for value-added products. We need to invest in new and existing infrastructure to ensure that there will continue to be local products for consumers to buy. The Haymarket is long gone, but our farmers markets are still the heart of our local food system. Local government can support our markets and help to identify permanent market locations in West and South Louisville. We need to follow the lead of forward-thinking cities like Memphis, Tennessee, whose Double Green program allows shoppers to get double the value for their food stamps when they purchase their fruits and veggies at farmers markets. Our food revolution will require us to think outside the box and outside the box stores. For example, cut flowers grown in brownfields could provide bioremediation, jobs, and beautified neighborhoods. We can invest in the region's first seed farm, or use the manure from Kentucky's 50 million chickens to replace chemical fertilizer inputs on local farms. So tonight, I'm putting my money where my mouth is and pledging that for 1 year, 100% of my groceries will be locally grown or produced. If 500 people pledge with me, we would infuse our local food economy with over $2 million. If we write about it and the gaps in our local food system, we can affect change. So sign up for a CSA box, start shopping at the farmers market if you don't already, and start making a difference. Just as our local restaurants have thrived alongside chain restaurants, we can create an alternate food system within the industrial model, which will ultimately benefit every organism in our urban ecosystem. Let's move towards sustainability by working to build relationships between farmers and consumers, investors and grassroots organizers. And the result will be a stronger and more economically stable urban environment with great tasting food. Thank you.